Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Shooting
What's up?
How you?
It's organized, these mics.
You said you made it?
Yo, and don't do what you did to me last time in that last episode. You put me clapping and shit. This time I ain't clapping. Just letting you know. Oh,
Yeah, come on,
I'm still gonna make you laugh. You see that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, either way, it don't even matter. Like, they gonna wonder, like, what happened to the clap now? You can't leave it. You know what I mean? If you start one way with the people, you gotta leave them that way, man. You can't leave them hanging. You know what I mean? You can't leave them out there without the dope beat to step to. But
Damn, I'm feeling kind of tight today. This shirt I haven't worn in a while.
yeah, we start like that. That's how we giving it up off the rip. Yo, listen, man. Yo, positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. I got my man over here about to have a Lamaze class in a minute, man. What's good, baby? How you, bro?
We doing good. We doing good.
Yo, listen.
And golly, though, I should have never worn this shirt. You over here. You get over here. You come over here. You come into the studio all dressed up and shit. I'm out here in a tank top. Make a brother feel bad. I'm over here now scrambling through my closet trying to figure out what I'm going to wear.
Yo, let me tell you, it's a reason behind all this, bro. Like it's gonna play into the topic of conversation and all that, bro.
Now I'm short of breath, bro.
Yo, that shirt that tight, it's making you short of breath too,
bro. It's giving me muscles and shit.
Yo, listen, we started the show off right tonight, man. Listen, as always, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal life, phenomenal day, a phenomenal time and space with who you are and what you are. Positive energy and good vibrations. Welcome to another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. It is your host, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and my man.
I think I forgot. Damn, son.
You had it.
Jose, the imperfect husband.
There
Bang,
you go.
bang.
There you go. There you go.
Don't worry, I'll get used to it. All right.
Yo, listen.
It's coming, bro.
Last episode,
Instagram coming soon.
It was smooth last
Instagram
episode.
coming soon.
Oh, word?
Yeah, Instagram coming soon on that. Because, we got to separate.
Okay.
Make sure that our people are following us and getting...
And
we're able to engage with our public.
Well, listen,
with our family,
right? The ones
with our imperfect family,
exactly. The ones that rock with us, the imperfect
family.
That's a fact. Well, you guys know, if you guys been rocking with us, you guys know what time it is. But if you haven't, we about to put you guys on. We don't do anything around here
from here on out. Y'all called the imperfects.
That's a fact. Every last one of you guys are the imperfects.
The imperfects.
I like
Boom.
that. Yeah, it is community. Bags. So. Now, around here, we must talk to the Father before we get anything done, because we understand that, we the imperfect ones, but He is the perfect Father. So with that being said, God, we thank you for another opportunity to be in your presence. We thank you for another opportunity just to say thank you. Right now, we appreciate everything we have in our lives, God, everything we have that's been taken from our lives, because we know that you do it for the reason and the season of improving us in our lives and situations. So right now, God, we thank you for our life and everything about us, God, the oxygen in our lungs and the blood flowing through our veins. We are appreciative of it all. So right now, Father, we ask you to look over us as we do this podcast episode, that we may say something to inspire, encourage, and entertain a gentleman or a man out there to be the best version of himself for his children, his family, and his lineage to come. So God, we ask you to do these things in the majesty name of the Most High. We do pray in Jesus' name. We ask, amen.
Amen.
Yo,
y'all saw me pointing over to the side a little bit. I just want to give a shout out to the young man over here, my son over here. He's taking care of controls today. We got to teach him how to do these things.
Yo, listen, shout out to the young king, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to actually take him to the next level, man.
Yes,
like these moments and these lessons, man. So shout out to the youngin', man. He's over here in the cut right now.
Y'all see me do one of these? Is that he was laughing and I didn't want to come out. I didn't want it to come out in the audio.
And like I told y'all, man. Y'all know how it's been, man. We're not who we are without them. So it's never going to be too far-fetched for them to be on the podcast, for them to be in the building, because at the end of the day, they're the reason why we are who we are, man. So
big facts.
But man, how have you been, man, since last week, bro? How you been around the way?
He's been going all right. This time is my time to ask you, my turn to ask you.
Oh,
Because
okay.
usually you're always asking me how you been, how things been around Joey. You know what? Doc, how have things been around RJD? How have things been around Joey? Please let us know.
Yeah, listen. It's been phenomenal. As a matter of fact, as you know, I love to say, as long as I'm breathing, nothing matters.
Salute to that.
Salute to that, my brother. Tonight we sipping on some wine tonight. Shout out to the wine class tonight. We're gonna keep the names private until we get those sponsors flowing. But as per the conversation, this has been a dope week, man, because I got a chance to really, for a lack of better terms, really just be myself in a space where I felt liberated.
Okay.
So during the week, I get a chance to do some Amazon Prime deliveries.
Okay.
Amazon Flex, shout out. It's a good little gig that it gives me a good part-time income, and I get joy in bringing people their packages because I know what it feels like when I need my package and how I'm anticipating Amazon, man. So it's times where I enjoy doing it. But just this one time, I'm going to give it the package. I'm down in Miami now. Anybody knows about Miami, you know it's a little sedity and all that. They don't want people walking through the halls, and I understand that, so they want us to bring the package to the front desk, which I love because it saves me time. So I bring the package to the front desk, man, and he goes, "Oh, this week we got in trouble for it. I can't sign for the packages anymore." No problem. I'm just going by what the app says. It says leave it with your front desk. I'm just going to do what it says. I don't want to get you in trouble, so I'm going to call the lady, let her know what's going on. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, this is your Amazon Flex delivery. I'm downstairs, and it's clear directions on the app. Why could you just follow directions? Ma'am, listen, I can read very well. I see the directions, but there's a problem downstairs with your security in your building. And there's an issue, and I can't leave it with the security. I need you to either give me another place to leave it at, or you come downstairs. What are you, incompetent? For the viewers and the fact that we got a young king in the room, I used some words I probably shouldn't have used, but I had to let her understand this. I don't work for Amazon. And who you're talking to is an individual who's not going to put up with it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is come downstairs. Oh, I'm not coming downstairs. Well, either come downstairs or you're not going to get your package. Oh, okay. Well, who are you think you're talking to? I'll be downstairs right now. Now, in my mind, she's already not getting the package. I just want you to come downstairs. She comes downstairs. Okay, you know what? Give me my package. I said, man, why are you so rude? I don't have time for this. Give me my effing package. Now it's your effing package. I said, well, you know what? Have a great day. This package is going to be waiting for you down at the warehouse when you're ready with a better attitude. Or Amazon decides to give you another delivery person to bring it to you. Oh, my God. F you. F you. F you. F you. As I'm walking away, she is irate, screaming F you to me all the way to the car. I thrived in that moment. You hear me? Like, my petty meter, my level of petty was satisfied to the T. You hear me? I got a chance to really enjoy and understand that, I'm not owned by this company. You can't talk to me any way you want. And why is that? Why do people think that because you do a service for them, right? Or you perform a service, or you give them any kind of job that they pay for, that they feel like they have the right to talk down to you or look down upon you? And I never understand that, bro. What is that?
It's a reflection of their image.
Yeah. Very, very, very true. Very true.
There's a Spanish quote that says, "El ladrón juzga por su condición." A thief judges by his condition.
I'm about to say, you got to translate that.
A thief judges by his condition. So every thief is going to think the next person is a thief.
Facts. That's a fact. Yo, and to your point too about why I'm dressed this way is another thing that happened this week was me and my wife went to Publix, right? And I was dressed in my usual, like, just bump around the way, sweatpants, hoodie, hair out crazy, because just in my regular flow of working out. And me and my wife was in the self-checkout. And as I'm in the self-checkout, we wasn't even thinking, right? Like, I'm scanning the stuff, bloop, handing it to her, bloop, handing it to her. The woman comes over to me and goes, "Oh, I seen you just hand her that." So I looked at the register and I'm like, "Oh, you mean this right here?" Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. No, you made an assumption. You didn't make a mistake. You made an assumption based upon the way I looked. And you know what? Probably you might be right about that because I look kind of crazy. But at the same time, you're not supposed to make an assumption. So the truth of the matter is I could mess around and get you in trouble tonight. She was like, "Oh, no. So the reason I'm dressed up today, I went back to that same Publix. "Hello, how you doing, man?" "Yeah, I'm the same dude from last night in the hoodie. You thought that I was stealing Frosted Flakes? I'm the same dude." She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just, nah, you still don't want to tell the truth. You made an assumption based upon what you saw, which is okay. I get it. But just be careful next time how you assume or how you make your assumptions because you never know who you're talking to."
Yeah, I love assumptions. You know how many times I've been caught out there with people who think I don't speak Spanish?
Yo, what is that like, bro?
Oh, boy, it's lovely. After they talk all their shit,
yeah,
I walk away by saying, "Tenga buen día." Just walk away.
Yo,
You have a great day.
If any reason I learned Spanish would be for that reason right there. For that, to be able to do that.
You have a great day. May God bless you.
Ooh, that stings. That has to sting. After letting them talk all that nonsense.
I learned that shit from my brother. He drives trucks in New York.
Ooh.
He drives trucks and he has a sign. Back in the days, he would throw pennies at people that would cut him off. He said, "You know what? They're not going to mess up my day." He has a sign that says, "God bless you."
Oh, my God.
So he'll drive up to them, just put the sign on the window. God bless you.
Hold that. Hold that. No, but so this week, bro, like I realized that if you don't keep yourself up, if you don't remind yourself of who you are, you'll lose yourself a little bit.
That is a fact.
Anyone who knows me knows I've always been an individual that loves to get dressed. Now, down here in South Florida, it's changed me a little bit because I don't like the heat. Like, I really can't put too many jackets on because, as you're going to see in a few minutes, I might take this jacket off and I'm going to start sweating in a little while. So I can't really get busy down here. Like
now you're going to sweat today, boy. We're going to make sure you don't take off that jacket. You want to try and show me out?
Nah, I can't. No way.
You're wearing that jacket all the way through. I made sure all the lights are on today.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, yo, I feel like we're on a spot right now.
That forehead's shiny.
And I'm going to be dripping in a minute, yo. I'm going to be dripping in a whole minute. Yo, but so now, as per us fathers, bro, because like this is a topic that I wanted to jump into because us parents are a little spicy when we get around our children or our children have a little scuffles. So let me give you guys a little context. So,
wow, that is crazy you even mentioning that. Oh, for the weekend that I've had.
So
that is nuts.
So
what the hell? We're in sync, brother.
I need to ask you, what kind of week did you have then?
I'll let you go. You brought up the topic. I'll let you start.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give the context to us, but as you guys can see, this is gonna make for good conversation because whatever happened during this week, it falls in line. So check this out. About a year and a half ago, I was at an event with a family member of mine, my cousin. And we were at a church event, and the kids were playing and doing all their nonsense and they're running around. As it was time to come, like towards the end of the event, his son came to him and let him know like other kids were like bothering him and picking on him. So as any other dad would, like, all right, told him basically just chill out over here. We'll address it when it's time. So the boys that was having a hard time with him actually came over to where we was at. And they began to mock him and poke fingers and all those things behind his back. So he's getting frustrated and says, you know what? Like, basically, come on, bring it on. And me personally, at that point, like that was as a man, I guess that's a time where, go ahead, son, handle your business. Like, I'm standing right here. Like, it's you and this child. If it's that much to you, handle your business, which would have been fine. But the issue was when they began to get into the scuffle, my cousin got involved and put his hands on the other child, as in like to ask him like, yo, where's your father at? Not to do anything to him malicious, but in the heat of things, he grabbed him by his shoulder.
That can escalate really fast.
Bro. So I explained to him, like, bro, like, nothing you say after this point matters. Because even you, if the roles were reversed, you wouldn't hear anything either.
That is a fact.
So everything that comes after this, you have to be prepared for. Understand, you brought it upon yourself at this point. But the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times when our children, or especially our boys, get into situations or scuffles amongst themselves, if we as adults have not healed our own wounds from yesteryear, our own scuffles from that we haven't either proved to ourselves that we're man enough, right? Because a lot of times we live vicariously through our children, even in their scuffles, in their situations. So please tell me.
95% of the time.
95.
We live through our kids' eyes. That is a fact. So even when we don't want to, we have a tendency of seeing our failures or trying to protect them from our failures when it's not our job to do so.
Facts.
It's our job to guide them to be better, not to protect them from their failures, because they need their failures to be able. You can't learn how to win without failing.
No, absolutely
it's
not.
impossible.
Absolutely
and
not.
if there's one thing that teaches you that, it's sports. Facts. Baseball, basketball, football. You need to fail consistently while you're training to be able to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing we have to be okay with within ourselves as parents, as fathers, is understand that even our losses are not detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to understand us losing or taking an L is actually good for us, because we'll then try to harness and keep them away from all the L's. Not understanding that our losses and our L that we took was the reason we're still standing right here and we're as resilient as we are as individuals, man. Yep. So now that we got this out, tell me about your week, please. Because I've laid the context now, and I need to fill out to understand what kind of week did you have, man?
Well, not a week. It was the weekend.
Okay.
Went up to spend some time with family. Teenage hormones are insane.
Talk about it.
Teenage hormones,
the raging one.
But as parents, we need to understand that when they are friends, it is their duty to figure out their situation.
Absolutely.
Not our duty to guide them in their situation, because you know what ends up happening? When parents get involved in kids' friendships, being also friends all together, the ones that end up fighting and becoming enemies are the parents.
Correct.
Because the kids end up clearing their situation and stay friends.
They laughing 15 minutes later. They're like, "Yep, what was we even arguing about?"
And we saw that this weekend continuously. No, it's
yeah.
Yeah. I just feel parents need to be able to trust that their kids are going to figure it out, and not get in between situations that are for kids. Kids are going to be kids. Now, if it comes to the point that hands are being laid and it has gone to the next step, then that's a different situation. But while kids are angry with each other, it's not our job to make them unangry.
No,
it is not our job. It is our job to allow them to make the right decisions by guiding them into the right decisions and understanding what's right and wrong. Chit chat shouldn't be the cause of becoming enemies.
No, and honestly, as adults, if you find yourself arguing with another adult about your children's argument, there's some soul searching you should be doing.
That you need to be digging deep within yourself.
Absolutely.
Because that means that there's something within you that needs to get resolved.
Absolutely. And because you have to understand the levels to life. If you're on the playing field of your children, of their argument, if you're on that playing field, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you're on that plateau, you're in the wrong space.
Yes.
And if you're triggered enough,
if you're triggered by that,
come on. Because now we're talking about yesterday is not done for you yet.
Yeah.
There's still some things behind you that you got to deal with, because their argument shouldn't trigger anything inside of you. Me and you should be able to have a conversation about that argument.
Yes.
With no feeling towards it.
Yes.
Because we've lived that life.
Yes.
We've understood, we've been there, and that's going to settle.
Yes.
Like, the old school water back in the projects. You know how you put the water from the tap? You can't drink it right away because it had to settle.
You had to let all the little stuff land all the way at the bottom. that clouded water become clear.
Yeah. They call it settling.
Thick layer of I don't know what the fuck at the bottom of that cup. Golly, that's New York water for you.
Thanks, kid. That's back in the day, bro. So anybody, we just would memory lane on the water real quick. You know what I mean? But seriously, like, we have to make sure we're doing our due diligence of doing our best to get past our own hurt, because that's what really would it comes from, bro. If you're an adult and you find yourself triggered, or you find yourself emotionally involved in an argument that your children are having, that's really something that you have to deal with internally in your own emotions. Because first of all, they're children, number one. Number two, that they, like you said earlier, they're going to end up forgetting that they even argued. If they even come down to blows, most times it's boys are going to fight, and they're going to be playing moments later.
Yep.
So how are we as adults in a space where we're now taking that moment and letting it linger on between us now? There's a problem, bro.
A deep problem. Like, it's like, this is one of those topics I know it's gonna burn some people, but the reality is that there's a lot of maturing that needs to happen. Once your child becomes a teenager, not even before, man. Once you have a child, you need to start understanding that your job as a parent is to guide them. Is to guide them. Is not to influence negativity into them.
Right.
And by jumping in between an argument between kids, you're influencing negativity into your child.
And I think that this is a good point for us to explain something too. So when we say heal and all these statements, right? People always like, what does that look like? Or what does that even mean? Meaning, if you find yourself in a situation where you are in a back and forth over a child's argument, there should be something. Why is this bothering me? Why is this bothering me this much? Yeah. And then when you say about the interjecting into negativity, a lot of times we think we're teaching our children their defense mechanisms that we learned early.
And that's where they'll end up carrying those burdens for the rest of their life.
Exactly. Because we used it and it got us through. It worked.
It worked. And no, that's not the case.
It just got us here. Not the case. It didn't it working and us getting it here is two different things. Yes. And I think that's what I'm so big on right now about what we normalize, bro. Because if we normalize this stuff, they're gonna grow up in like, oh, this is the norm.
That's like saying, whooping my child's ass consistently works. Does it?
Cat.
We know for a fact it doesn't.
Right. We're living proof of it.
And we made it. We're good.
Thank you.
We made it. We're good.
I was having this conversation with a whole bunch of guys.
That doesn't mean that that's the right path to take.
For example, single mothers, right? Me and homeboy was talking about this. And don't get me twisted. I take my hat off to single mothers because I know how hard it is for them. But I'm not saluting the situation of single mothers. I'm not glorifying that. I'm from it. I know what happens. I know the underscars that nobody talks about. I know the emotional detachment and all those things that we go through as individuals that come through situations like that.
Yep.
So, what I'm not going to do is glorify what I simply made it through. We're so to the point where, there's nothing wrong with single mothers. Like, what? Like, I'm not saying that single mothers are wrong, but what I'm saying is that's not the right thing. That's not okay.
Think about this. The amount of disciplining that we got.
Right.
If we were in the time that we are now, where the promotion, I'm not going to say the promotion because that's the wrong word, but the awareness of mental illness is so big. That's what I wanted to say.
Right.
The awareness of mental illness being so big. How much more catastrophes would occur during our time?
A lot.
Back in those days, it was you would get your ass whooped, suck it up, be a man, shut the fuck up.
Period. Point blank. In discussion.
Deal with it.
End of it.
If in those days, mental awareness, as it's been spreaded now,
right,
where yes, we do need to make the world aware of mental awareness, of mental health. It has to happen.
Correct.
But the weakness that comes behind it, that there's so much using that as an excuse. That's where I'm trying to go about. So, using that as an excuse, because there's a lot of people that are not there and use that as a verb.
Me worked up.
Use that to hold on to. If that was the case back in our days, where it was where there was that much awareness, we would have all used that
right
as a crutch.
Correct.
We would have all used it.
I would have got out of so many ass whippings if I'd have known that. Oh, I'm not mentally stable right now.
Which happens. I know. I've known kids that would use the use of their pill, of using medication as the reason why they're acting out.
I need my pill.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I haven't taken my pill.
That's a learned behavior.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's and once again, it's mental illness is real, is as real as it can get. I've seen it with my eyes. I've lived it, so I know how much pain it can bring.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's the same thing as utilizing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as utilizing the Me Too movement to be able to lean on. When you haven't been a person and you're undermining the people that had actually gone through it.
Bro, I told you get me worked up. You see me? I'm over here getting hot.
Sweating.
I'm sweating because now you're hitting home on a topic that I'm really actually like really frustrated with, to be honest with you. Because the day and age that we're in, we're using actual ailments, right? Like actual real cases, and we're using it to glorify our laziness, to glorify our negative habits. So
say that again. Say that again.
We're using the excuse of mental health to glorify our negative behavior, our negative habits. Seriously,
our laziness.
Yes. So check this out. So there's this new wave of let me not do this. I do this because I have a mental illness, right? Like that you said earlier. That's the new thing. And because we're so sensitive, as we should be, right? We should be at this age and stage sensitive to mental health because we understand it's real. But we also have to understand that we can't use that as a crutch, because right now we have a multitude of individuals who are using it as an excuse. I can totally understand anyone who has any kind of mental health issues, because guess what? I'm not no doctor or nothing, but I've worked about 15 years in the industry with mentally disabled, all the I'm losing the word I'm looking for right now. All the spectrums. I've literally worked with all of them because I worked from different agencies in New York when I was coming out of high school. So I've seen them all. So I know how real they are. So when I hear someone or I see these people that are using them as an excuse, it makes me sick, bro, because I see actual mental health issues. I know what they look like. I have cousins with Down syndrome. I have cousins with cerebral palsy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I see what this looks like. I know what it looks like. And then I see the ones that are using it to get a paycheck. And it burns me up, bro.
Yeah.
It burns me up.
Yeah. The hardest part is to hear of someone using it to manipulate their family member.
Man.
That one burns. That one burns because there's a lot of people out there that are really going through the situation, and it undermines them.
Yes.
It undermines them. And when it gets used, it's the story of the boy that cried wolf. That's basically what the story of the boy that cried wolf. You keep saying, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. The day that you actually are going to do it, nobody's going to believe you.
Right. Nobody. You said it, and you worked everybody up for no apparent reason multiple times.
So the reality is that, yes, when you feel depressed, when you feel lost, when you feel dark, when you feel in that place where you think that your life isn't worth anything, talk to somebody.
Right.
Don't use the threat of killing yourself as a manipulation. Really,
right.
If you're depressed, if you're in darkness, if you really are in that space, in that mental space, then talk to someone.
Yes.
Speak to someone.
Seriously.
Let someone know how it is that you're feeling, so that someone can help you.
Right.
Look for that help. But using it as a crutch, using a mental illness as a crutch, will only undermine everybody that's actually living it.
Right.
Because now that person that you continuously tell, I'm going to kill myself, or I'm going to run away, or I'm never going to come back, when somebody else tells them,
they're callous to it.
They're going to feel as if it means nothing.
Right. They're overlooked.
Because they've already lived with the situation of somebody using it as manipulation.
Right. So that's a two-edged sword, because also as the individual who is using it, right, what you don't realize what you're doing is you're casting the spell over yourself repeatedly. See, when we talk and we say things, we don't realize we're sending out messages into the universe. So if you're going to sit here and continuously say over and over, oh, I have this, or I'm under this, or I have this issue, and you truly don't, but guess what? Over time, you will.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to cast what you put it out to existence. It's going to become true.
Absolutely.
You're going to cast to yourself what it is that you're calling.
100%, bro.
When you were young, you would say, I have a headache. 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 What would happen?
End up with a headache.
You end up with a headache.
Yo, I used to hate that.
trying to get yourself out of going to school.
I used to hate that because I used to say it because I wanted to get out of whatever I was doing in school, and I would say it so much. But then when I went home,
you were sick,
and I had the headache, and now I can't play the video games because in no actuality now my head is really hurting me. So yes, and yeah, bro, that's why I said it's a two-edged sword, because number one, you're using it as a scapegoat, and you're also lowering your character. Let's just talk about that as an individual. Like, you're demoralizing your character as a man. Like, if you're sitting here and you're lying, right? You're saying that you have a disease, a mental illness, and you don't, bro. That's number one. You're lying. Number one. That's off the rip. But number two, you also diminishing your character. You're literally showing the world, and you're showing yourself, because you know every lie you've ever told. You're the only one that knows that. So you know that you're lying, and you know that you're standing in a world in which you're gonna have to wear at some point.
And I want to make sure that everybody knows, everybody that's listening, that if by any chance you feel triggered by this, I apologize, because this isn't to trigger anyone. This is to bring light to something that exists and might help somebody out there that's probably going through this and needs somebody to speak to and doesn't know how to.
Correct.
Doesn't know how to. Or is actually going through it, But the only way they know how to speak about it is by using it as manipulation.
Right.
So it's about time to actually sit down and have an actual conversation with somebody so that help can be brought to you.
Right.
Whoever it is, help can be brought to you. Because at the end of the day, losing a soul makes God makes God cry.
Yes. Every trip. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Jose is gonna apologize for you for triggering you. I'm not. Because if I'm gonna trigger you, I want you to trigger it. Because if triggering, I realize causes change, Jose. And we're not causing it negatively. At no point in this conversation did we attack anyone. At no point did we try to belittle anyone. But if you are triggered, that means it's time for a change.
I just don't want to get canceled.
Yo, listen. Listen, I'm not trying to get canceled either, but one thing I'm not going to do is let anybody that's standing behind this camera dictate what we talk about, because at the end of the day, our hearts are pure, bro. Like, I used to be worried about that one thing, about like, yo, am I going to say the wrong thing that's going to offend somebody? But anything I say on this podcast, I'm going to say directly to a person. I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings. We're here literally to help create change. And the truth of the matter is, most times, Jose, change comes after pain.
You need somebody to talk to out there. This goes to everybody out there that's listening. I usually don't talk to the camera, but today I feel like I need to.
Yes.
Anybody out there that needs somebody to talk to, hit up our DMs. Please. Down below in the comment section, let us know how you feel. Let us know what you're thinking. Are you going through the situation? Answer us. We're reading. Trust me, we're reading.
That's a fact.
And if you need somebody to speak to, my DM is open.
Correct. That's a fact. And like, don't have no the pride, the ego. If you need the help, you need the help. The worst thing the person that needs the help can do is not ask for it. Like, it's nothing wrong with being hurt, but it's a problem with staying there.
There's nothing wrong with asking for help at all. Ever.
At all.
Ever.
And like this age we're in, where you can get crucified for asking for help, because that's simply where we're at right now. It's crazy, because if a man reaches out for help, he's soft.
Yep.
He's the new word they're using now. He's sassy. Right?
Wow.
So if you are in a space where you need help, don't go to a space where they're clowning people. I'm just be real, because I think a lot of times what we do is, when we're hurt, we go to different spaces and we don't understand where we're going into. The space is not safe for that. There are spaces where you shouldn't be going if you're hurt. And this is a space you can go. If you are in a space where you are hurt, you won't be judged. You won't be criticized. You'll be cared about. You'll be seen about. You'll be actually loved through situation. Because at the end of the day, we're two individuals, we're two fathers that know that at the end of the day, at some point, we're going to need it as well. We're not above reproach. We're not above needing help.
Nah.
So we're just in a space where we want to be the help. But now, at this point of the podcast, we're back to the segment of, am I the only one?
Oh, boy. Can I plead the fifth this time again?
No, man. You can't keep pleading the fifth. You haven't even heard it yet, man.
All right. My bad.
Yo, listen. Here we go.
All right.
Am I the only one that has... That go out with their lady, right? Like, when y'all go out early in the day, y'all say to yourself, we got a dinner date tonight. And all through the day, she's flirting with you. She's sending you those googly eyes.
I know what way you're going, bro. Go ahead, keep going, bro.
Yo, so y'all getting it on all day long. Y'all googly eyeing each other, you texting each other back and forth. Y'all get to the dinner, y'all hand touching each other all throughout the night. Y'all get to the house. He laughing. Y'all get to the house. you go to handle the business, feed the dog, you know what I mean? Lock the house up. You know what I mean? Handle your responsibilities. You come back, turn the lights on, and you look in the bed and you see.
Nah, they don't snore. Let me stop that. They don't snore.
No.
Nah, they don't. Bro, I can't.
Cap. Cap. Yo, listen. When my wife gets tired, baby.
Bro, you're going to be in the hotbed today. You better watch out.
I'm here for the smoke. Am I the only one?
I don't care what you say, bro. My wife don't snore.
Yo, listen. As you see, he's ducking the smoke with the question, though. Am I the only one?
Nah, you ain't the only one. That shit happens to everybody.
Let us know down in the comments.
You tell us. Are we the only ones? Let us know.
Please put us on game. Yo, I'm dying over here, bro.
Bro, it's hot today. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I'm sitting trying. I'm like, yo, my watch keeps rolling off my wrist. I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I hope it don't come through my shirt. Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on. I think it's because we left too much lights on today.
I think it's the wine too, right?
It's the wine,
maybe
bro.
The wine too.
It's the wine. It's the wine. The wine do it. Because last time we were having a sip of some spirit. It was some whiskey with some ice, so it was nice and cool.
Cool, right? This is the wine is kind of it's
golly.
we might
have to stop on the wine for next time.
Well, it's important that we get back to the topic of conversation about us healing. And the seriousness in it, because one thing I understand, I've learned more so about myself and my own situation as a father is that the more I heal areas in my life that I didn't know I need healing in, my children benefit from. So, in areas of like for instance, my temper and my patience, right? So, where before I thought I was a patient individual, I really didn't have that much patience. And I didn't realize until my wife one day asked me simply, babe, why are you yelling? Right? Like in the midst of what we were doing and I got kind of frustrated and I yelled at my son, she simply asked me the question and it stopped me in my tracks. She's like, why are you yelling? And at first, initially, I was about to yell at her. And I caught myself and I said, I don't know. I don't know why I'm yelling. Yeah. I'm yelling right now. And in that moment, bro, I'm doing the work. I'm yelling right now because this is the only way I've only been communicated with. Whenever I was being spoken to, I was being yelled at. This is the pace and the tempo in which I believe an adult should be talking to a child. But in no actuality, why am I yelling?
Yeah. Yeah, we catch ourselves doing that. Oh, like we're imperfect. We're imperfect. We're products of our environment. We're products of what we came up of.
Right.
And we end up doing things that at one point we believed were right. It's not that we do it intentionally.
No.
We catch ourselves.
Correct.
Because one thing I know for a fact is that you as myself, we catch ourselves in those situations and we try to attract. And then it turns into a conversation with them of, look, this isn't how I wanted to react. I apologize for reacting in this manner.
And bro, that's something. The apology was something that it hurt our forefathers. Seemed like.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like.
Yeah, it was hard to get an apology. Ooh. It was hard to get an apology.
And bro, and like if the truth be told, like it's even hard sometimes when I'm wrong now to have to go back and apologize, bro. Like with my daughter, right? For the instance with the dog. I was getting on her even here at the house. Why are you so scared of this damn dog? You've never seen a dog attack anybody. What's wrong with you? And I'm going at her days on days, different houses we go to. And it wasn't until my mother was telling me, listen here, little dude, like you grown now, but don't forget you were scared of dogs too.
Yeah.
And when she said it to me, it stuck like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And because I was so like daddy about it, right? Macho daddy about it, I had some kind of hesitation and reservation about going back and apologizing. And even as I was apologizing, I felt drawbacks a little bit. But then I said to myself, no, if I can't be vulnerable and transparent with my little girl, then who would she see it with?
Yeah. Yeah. It's still to this day. I think back and I don't think I can remember one time that I heard an apology from one of my parents. Yeah, they apologized in their own way, I would say, right?
Right.
And it's something that we had to learn about them.
Correct.
But actual I'm sorry. I don't think either of us ever heard an actual I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of come here, sit down, let me talk to you.
Right.
I did XYZ because of XYZ.
Right.
But never I'm sorry for spanking you. I'm sorry for lashing out. You know?
Absolutely.
So it definitely was a learning curve for us as parents.
Facts.
To understand how to have that type of communication, because at the beginning it would be well, they're kids, so they got to do as I say.
Right.
That's not
Or
productive.
or they're seen and not heard.
Yeah, that's it's not productive. It's not productive, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is repeating the same cycle that has held you in trauma.
And that's the point I'm getting at, Jose. We talk as if though we're in the space where we're fine.
Nah, bullshit.
And this is why I'm saying healing is so important, bro.
Bullshit.
We have to get to this real deal healing. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're gonna suffer if not.
We are not fine. Keep it a buck.
Hands down. Real rap.
But you know what's one thing that I can say? Prayer helps a lot.
Facts.
Prayer helps a lot. And using that as your guidance and as your day-to-day, at least not using it, because that's trying to use it as your guidance and as your day,
right.
Because we're human. We will all commit sin.
Right.
That's
absolutely.
a fact.
Absolutely.
But at least knowing that you try to walk in the righteous path, you know that you're trying to do what's right on a daily basis. And that allows you to keep moving forward and keep your head in a sane space. And within prayer, you end up lifting that burden that exists little by little, chip by chip,
absolutely,
rock by rock.
That's a fact, bro. No, and I think that one thing that we can do as men, especially us as fathers and husbands, is showing the posture of prayer, showing the humility that of seeing of being in your prayer closet, and the posture of you calling out to the Father. Because at the end of the day, I didn't realize how powerful it was until I had to think back to a friend of mine asked me, who was some of the most powerful men you've ever seen? I thought to myself, wow, a few of my pastors, a few of the real leaders I've known. And the question was, what was the most powerful posture you've ever seen them in? And I was like, wow, hands raised. The most powerful posture I've ever seen a man has been hands raised.
On his knees.
Literally. So I said to myself, that's going to be the posture in which my children see me in. Good and bad time. Because it won't just be, oh, daddy only prays when he's in trouble, right? Or he's in dire need of a miracle. That won't be the imagery. Because at the end of the day, like, it's a personal relationship now. Like, now it's more so, oh, I can't go without talking to my wife, or how dare I not go talk to God? You understand? Like, how is it that my relationship with my wife is more precedent than God? Because if a day goes past without me saying hello to her, or hell will break loose.
Yeah.
So how dare me not talk to God?
There's a custom in our, there's a tradition in our heritage that requires you to ask your parents for their blessing before you walk out the house.
You was telling me that. How do you say that again?
Dios te la bendición, mami.
Yes.
Or la bendición, papi. Mom, dad, may I have your blessing when you walk out the house, or when you see them, or when you wake up. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Listen to the beauty behind that. It's your parents using the will of God and of prayer to say, child, go with God. Dios te bendiga. May God bless you. That's powerful. Yeah. When you teach that to your child, then your child understands the meaning behind it. Because growing up, you would say, I didn't understand. Well, guys, we had some technical difficulty. The whole thing went out. So I was saying, I was mentioning about teaching your children about asking for your blessing.
Yes.
Your blessing, and how beautiful it is when I finally understood what it was that it meant. It was mind blowing. All these years.
So do me a favor, Jose, right? Because that for me is it wasn't in my culture. So I'm the young child that doesn't understand that. Break it down to me so I understand that.
Interesting. So it's
because honestly, if it comes from my culture, bro, when I hear that, to me, it's like, you want me to ask for blessings every time I see my people?
Listen, I still to this age, to my age.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass man.
Facts.
And I see my mother 5 times in a day, and 5 times I ask for her blessing.
Wow. My mother might slap me. My mother might slap me.
And
I'm like, Mom, let me get a blessing. Let me get a blessing, Sharon. Pow.
And 5 times she gives me her blessing with a smile on her face, like if she's grabbing it from God and passing it over. Because the whole point, as a parent, you want to make sure that your child comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a person of faith, you believe that God will be there with your child if you send them out with that
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because the reality is they still don't have the knowledge and understanding to be able to understand the Bible if they go ahead and they read it.
Correct.
Or to understand any sort of scripture.
Correct.
Right? But in your belief, you understand that because you're a person of faith, you are asking our Father, please take him in your blessing. Please guide him in your blessing. How I explain it to them, or they've also been taught in catechism, is this is the way you dial into God. By asking your parents to give you their blessing, or by saying in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's your dial into the Lord.
Got you.
So that's a way of you saying, my child, you go with God. Dios te me bendiga.
And it's crazy because so where I see it now, right? The correlation in cultures for me in that same space is we say it on departure, right? So it's like when I take my kids to school in the morning, they get the same statements. You are loved. You are a child of the King. There is no one that's better than you, and you're not better than anyone. You're loved. Like, I give them this whole thing. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're Roderick Dockery's son and daughter. I give them the whole spiel.
Affirmations.
You dig what I'm saying? And I let them go with that. And then when I pick them up, I ask them the questions. Who loves you? Who's going to be here for you no matter what? Because all the questions I give them in the morning is a repeat when they come home. So I see that. But to me, when you say it every time, 5 times a day, if my kid was to come to me 5 times a day, Jose, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. How many blessings you want, little dude?
So do you really believe that it's our I understand that we would get annoyed, but to me, I actually feel I say this as myself.
Right.
I feel like I feel honored.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel honored
That's
to
dope.
be able to be the person to give you that blessing every single time you wake up, every single time you come to me that you haven't seen me for 5 minutes. Now you come back and you say, La bendición, papi. I feel honored that you want me to give you God's blessing after knowing what it means.
Right. Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that doesn't only go for my parents. If you were to ever speak to an aunt of mine or an uncle of mine, they'll tell you the same. Oh yeah, they'll see my Jose and Javier. They'll see you 10 times, and 10 times they'll ask you for the blessing. Because that's how we were raised. That's how our mother raised us. 10 times you step out, you step outside, you come back in, you ask for a blessing. Because you don't know what's gonna happen once you step out that door.
True. Very true.
You don't know what's gonna happen. You walking down that hallway.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a very true fact. And bro, like it's a beautiful thing that we can sit here and exchange cultures, bro. Because like I get a chance to see into where I didn't know existed. Because the whole thing about giving blessings, to me, it was like if I was to see or hear it and not understand it, I'd have been like, yo, why are they repeating the same thing over and over and over again? You feel what I'm saying? And then like until you explain to me the way you explained to me, I would see my mother getting frustrated as hell. Yo, my nigga, how many blessings do you want? Go somewhere and sit down. I just saw you 5 minutes ago. You see what I'm saying? So, in my world here, my mother, I hear her voice right now flipping on me. Boy, I'm not giving you my blessings. Go ask God directly. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, and this is the beauty of seeing the cultures, because where I'm joking, right? It's serious. It's a serious thing where you guys are like, no, listen, this is a blessing that you're going to need. And in all actuality, I'm like, well, that's something where I could embody and teach to my family, because it's like, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We say, see you later with such arrogance and such certainty, but we don't know. I seen a video of the day of a man that was, he was dancing in church. He was a cop. And the comments were going crazy, like, ain't he supposed to be on duty right now and all this other stuff. But I went down on the comments and I read, somebody was like, yo, you don't know how many times he's dancing because he made it home. And like, we don't know what he's seen like throughout his day as a black man, as a cop. You understand? So when I seen that, I was like, yeah.
And you know that as a black man, being a police officer, you deal with it twice.
I pray for every cop out there. Because you got the brothers calling
you Uncle Tom. Meanwhile, you got your brothers in blue not really respecting you as they would respect a brother that's their same complexion.
Right. True. It's a dangerous world for us cops, for the cops out there, bro.
It is.
And I want to give a shout out to every black officer out there, every black and Hispanic officer out there, because I got family members who are cops. And I shout out to you, Scott.
I got brothers in arms that are officers, and brothers that we grew up together that are officers, and I love you niggas. You already know.
Facts. And one thing I tell them is that yes, you have a job to that badge, you have an oath, you have committed to that badge, and as a man, I expect you to hold yourself to that value of that badge. But higher than that badge, you must come home. You must come home. So. In them times where things escalate, in those times, in those moments, don't forget that there are people that at home that need you.
That is a fact.
Don't let what's going on in those situations, in those moments, escalate to where you forget that there's people that depend on your breath
that
at
are
home.
Praying at home that you make it back home.
Absolutely. And every man, like, when you get home and you walk through the threshold of your door, just take a moment and stop and just give God some thanks. Because you might think that you walked through that door on your own power. You might think that you went throughout your entire day without no help from no one and no other outside source. But I would guarantee you, if you take a moment and ask God to just reveal to you some of the things that he protected you from, or just start looking around and seeing some of the things that could have went wrong in your day, or did go wrong, or didn't go the way you planned, and I can guarantee you'll start thinking God in a different way. Yep. Yo, bro, did I tell you a story that I'm driving down the same way we go every single day, me and JoJo, to pick up the wife and daughter from school, and my mother calls me, "Are you okay, son?" "Ma, what's going on?" "I'm fine." There was a sinkhole in the area that you live at.
Bro, I've spoken about that not too long ago with the kids about sinkholes here in Florida.
I'm like, yo, wait a minute, Ma, I haven't seen no sinkhole. The very next day, I didn't realize was the day it happened, me and JoJo didn't go to school that day. So we never went through the way it happened. So the next day, on the way home, on a regular route, I see it. And as soon as I'm driving past it, bro, a tear rolls down my eye, and instantaneously I say, thank you, God. Because that's one of those moments that I did not know that my son not going to school could potentially save our lives. Because we drive that way every single day, bro. Yep. Without no difference, every single day the same route. And that one day that happened, we happened to not go to school that day. Who knew that other than God? So we sit here and think that it's of our own graces that we walk through the doors at night. But trust me when I'm telling you, it's definitely not our grace, bro. It's definitely not upon our own power that we do anything, especially not make it home at night.
Amen to that.
So with that being said, yo, this has been another dope episode of the podcast. Yo, Jose, before we get up out of here, do you have anything you want to give the people before we get up out of here, bro?
Once again, like always, like, comment, and subscribe. Please. Helps the algorithm, helps us build this channel, helps us give you great content.
Facts. And I want to take this moment to salute every father out there. And also, I want to take the moment too to salute the young men out there in the world. We talk a lot about us as fathers, but we can't be fathers without the youngins. So I want to take the time for all the young ones that's checking this out. And even for the parents who listen to us, give this moment to the children. Appreciate them. Because one thing I do realize is that a lot more of the energy goes into us praising our children, and they enjoy it. And they feed off of it. But one thing I understand that feeds them and benefits them more is when we talk well of them and they hear it.
Amen.
When we speak amongst ourselves about how well they're doing, it makes them want to do more. It makes them want to be better individuals. So make sure that we're not just pointing fingers at them when they're doing wrong, that we're not just criticizing them and casting judgment on them when they make mistakes. Let's make sure that we're giving them that same energy on a regular basis when they're doing the right thing, when they're being themselves, and when they're being authentically who they're supposed to be. Dig what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So,
and also to carry on to that, please make sure that if you're out there, you need any sort of guidance, any sort of help, you need someone to just listen, hit us on the DM.
Facts. And if you are in the South Florida area, every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have a men's meeting where we come in and we, for lack of better terms, we let our hair down. We talk with no regards. It's a space where a man can be a man. You can't cancel us in this space because it's us being us, for us, with us. So if you are an individual that's down here in South Florida, you're a man that you want to come to a space with other men, other like-minded men, and just be yourself and be an authentic man, come holler at us. Get me in my DM and I will send you the information over, and we will open our arms and welcome you to headquarters. And I say secret headquarters, excuse me, because we don't want no one to know where we're at. It's a secret on purpose. You dig what I'm saying? The man cave. But anyway, your Jose, man, once again, phenomenal episode. Thank you so much as usual.
Yes, it was.
And shout out to my man Young Junior over there in the building. We appreciate you as well. And everybody that's taking the time to watch this episode, we appreciate you. And like Jose said, please do like, comment, and subscribe, because it helps us help reach the people that's out there that need to hear the message and continue to be able to make sure that we're giving this dope podcast for all that want to check us out. So guess what, fathers? To the world, you just a dad. But to your family, you're the world. And guess what? Until the next time we see you in these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's all right. Don't trip. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
Jose, the Imperfect Husband.
And this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will.
Bang, bang.
Peace, y'all. Gang. Yes, sir. Another one.
You know?